you go, just need some time. At your own pace, you need to find your way. I know now you'll never change your mind for something that matters to me. You do not know what I have in mind. I packed our bags, we'll be on our way. The night was long as I waited without a sign. 'Cause I know what matters to you. But what do you want? What's your biggest need? Every hour we spend together, then suddenly the chances are small, just like the love.
Good morning. Yesterday at the book fair, I did have a really good time. The book fair this year was really strong. It makes me happy that people read more. It makes me happy that people are more interested in reading, and overall, there's just been such a happy culture around reading. I did find two absolute beasts that I've been meaning to get for the longest time. First one is Ensaio sobre lucidez by José Saramago, but he's amazing, incredible with his narration and his storytelling. This is kind of a sequel, if you can call it that, to Blindness, Ensaio sobre a cegueira. This has to be brilliant. All of his books and writings are brilliant. I've never read a book from him that wasn't a 5-star. Also, it's only in this book fair that I find discounts on these books. I haven't been able to find discounts on his books anywhere else, and they're always around 20 euros, and this was like 40% off. Also, in book fairs, you have to be careful because a lot of the prices that I saw there were not dissimilar from prices on regular bookstores that I go to, and a lot of the books I was like, well, this is like a 10% discount that I can easily find online. Unless you find really good discount, be careful around book fairs because it's an environment that really makes you want to purchase books. And the next book that I got, and I've been meaning to get this author for a really long time, Poesia, or just poetry, by Sophia Breyner. I think this was her first ever published book. I've already read about half of it. This is like a spring fairy book. This is so sweet. She has this really wonderful connection to nature, and especially the ocean. The aquarium here in Lisbon has several quotes from her on the walls. The reason why I've never read anything from her is because I always relate her to children's books, because I've read so many books from her in primary school. She has so many beautiful children's books, also in this like fairy like presence of her. I think I had pretty good finds this year.
could sit around and wait all day. You lay easy on my mind, like a candle I just burn away. All we really have is time. All we really have is time. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you. What was it they used to say? Seeking you will find.
Help me see, how do I compare a different me? How do I compare? Can we let it be for just a little more? My mind is wide and aching at the core. Do we ever learn?
This is the first voiceover I've done in a really long time, so I hope it's worth it. But I feel like I wanted to explain more of the stationery haul. These are materials that I got months ago, and these are the materials that I've been using pretty much on a regular basis. I only write with basically my mechanical pencil, which is from Muji, and I swear by it. And I only write with black pens, and especially black gel pens I love so much, and they can be really from any brand. I think the black gel pens, for me, nothing has topped the palette juice pens. I love that one so much. However, I also like to write with a fine ballpoint. When writing notes, it's really awesome to have both a black gel pen that stands out more and a fine ballpoint, so I really like that juxtaposition. As for highlighters, my favorite are definitely the mild liners still. They last long, great colors. A big staple of mine is a nice bright yellow highlighter, and I've been looking for a nice bright one, but not one that's so fluorescent, and I was able to find that again in the mild liner. You can see it's vibrant, but it's not too fluorescent, and also you can see compared with the Faber, even the Faber one, it just looks faded. And I also use the Tombow, I hope I'm saying that right, Tombow brush pens for highlighting or also journaling. They're such nice quality and colors, and they have such a wide variety of colors, and I use the more colorful ones like blue, pink for my study notes, and then the dark browns on my journals. I'm also pretty obsessed with these sticker markers for marking passages on books. Also, I always keep the packaging of the materials for journaling with. You see these papers, you can use them for journaling, so don't forget to keep them. But anyways, I tried smaller page stickers, and they're good for inside of the page, but not very nice for marking outside. So I recommend getting more into sticker sheets just for organization, and also because they tend to have a bigger variety of stickers. I tend to get stickers according to season. So for example, during the summer I get nice colorful one. This is how I organize my stickers in these 2 folders so I know where everything is. One is from Muji and the other one I forget where I got it. I think I ordered it online. Maybe it was again from Stationery Pot. But this big organizer, this desk organizer, is also from Muji. Finally, I think a nice addition to your stationery collection is double-sided glue. It changed my life. And also stamps really change and spruce up your spread. And also something new that I've been trying is fountain pens. I have, I think, 2 fountain pens, but I didn't have ink or cartridges, which is silly. But I finally got it, and I want to try to play with the fountain pens and see if I can write well. Those are my essentials and also some new things that I've been trying. But just a quick reminder that you don't need any of these things to study and to work well. But yeah, those are my favorites and materials that I've been studying with every single day.
I've been thinking of how to leave you, just to leave you first. I've been thinking of how to deceive you, to make you leave me first. My experience tells me that it is only a matter of time.
Welcome to Sunday. It's actually the day when I'm posting this, if you're watching this while I'm posting. I decided to go to my study room a little bit later because it is very hot today. It is already 26 degrees. Yesterday was also pretty bad, but today is the worst day of them all. I'm not looking forward to studying in this heat, but my rest day is going to be next Friday, so I cannot take today as a rest day. I wanted to talk about books, talk about the reading list that I have for August. I've been commuting a lot less because I've been driving to my study room, and the time that I used to spend reading on my commute, which used to be at least 2 hours a day, now I'm just spending driving, and then while driving I listen either to podcasts or to music. I don't really fancy audiobooks, which has been a little bit more tricky, but normally what I do is between my study breaks I take the 10 minutes and I read. On my rest days I read a little bit more, but it's still making me obviously read a lot less. It doesn't matter how many books you read, it matters what books you read, the choices that you make. If the books are that means we have to make good choices while picking the books. I've made a tentative list of books that I wanted to pick up this August, but first I want to mention the books that I finished recently. And the first book that I finished was actually House of Hollow by Krystal Sutherland, and oh my gosh, I started on ebook and then I realized I was really enjoying it, and because of this magnificent cover I decided that I had to have a physical copy of this book. This is a book about 3 sisters, and the sisters disappear one day when they're children, and 1 month later they're found on the street unharmed, but they don't remember anything about where they went, and also certain physical traits of the sisters are changed. The story goes from there. It's a magical realism, dark, gothic sort of story where you have a lot of nature elements and a lot of magical elements that tie together. And not giving any spoilers, it's a really good story. I had such a fun time. The atmosphere of the book is very descriptive and rich and gruesome. You can actually see and feel the scenes of the book just play in your head. It's very addictive. The bond of the sisters, it's not something that the author just takes for granted, and she explores the relationship a little bit more than a regular relationship of sisters is described. So I really enjoyed. Another book that I'm constantly reading on and off is Mary Oliver's Devotion. Do y'all hear my neighbor's alarm? This is Devotions by Mary Oliver. This is a collection of her best poetry. It's a huge book, so even though it was a little bit expensive, I think it's a book that it's perfect for summer. Mary Oliver has this very nature-oriented life perspective and philosophy where she will give so much meaning to elements of nature, and especially when nature blooms, she starts experiencing life differently. It's very, very wholesome and such a good book to read during the summer. I love it so much. I love just sitting under a tree, read some Mary Oliver, look at the world. So you cannot go wrong with a Mary Oliver poetry collection. I feel like Devotions is such a good book to have in your shelf. The next book that I'm really excited to reread is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is just a stunning edition, and I decided to get it for my birthday, I think. Maybe I could reread Song of Achilles and Circe. Those are just impeccable books. Her writing style is just phenomenal. The Greek mythology, the themes behind every character. Circe is not a book about romance, but Song of Achilles certainly is. I feel like you will just adore these books. These are now some of my favorite books. And yeah, I wanted to reread this. I read this about 2 years ago, and like I said, I read it in such a whirlwind that, you know, at the end I was just like, what just happened? And I've been trying to process this book for the past 2 years. So Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier was my favorite book of last year. It's a phenomenal book, and so I decided to get 2 more books by Daphne, and one of them is My Cousin Rachel. I'm hoping it's even half as clever as Rebecca, because that book changed my brain chemistry. So I'm not really sure what this book is about. I'm going in blind. I don't know anything about this book, but I really want to experience the magic of Daphne's writings again. Please and thank you. The next classic is the book that I got at the book fair. I've explained it before. Ensaio sobre lucidez by José Saramago. He's also one of my favorite authors. Like I said before, this book has to be brilliant because it's written by him, and I trust him completely. This is why I go out to study. This is why I don't study at home. The last book that I wanted to read this August is the sequel to Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This is Bloodmarked, and this is a young adult fantasy. Legendborn for me was a fun read. It didn't blow me off the park. I didn't think that it did anything different. I think it got a 3 stars from me, so I feel like the reason why I'm getting the sequel is because it's a fun, quick read. I feel like Legendborn has 2 sides why it's attractive to readers. First side is obviously the magic world, the system. The first book had a couple of trials, you know, like the Hunger Games. Yeah, they have like trials where they are selected. So I feel like that side of the adventure is fun to read. Also, I really liked in the first book, it was my favorite part, the folklore-esque magic system. I felt like when she connected to her ancestors, I was like, oh, this is getting good. And then some of the parts are kind of confusing, and I was kind of like, well, this didn't really give me any answers, but I liked the ending. The ending of Legendborn was strong, so I'm excited to read the sequel. However, the other part is the romance, which the romance in Legendborn didn't do anything for me. It's a love triangle. I don't want her to be with anyone. Of the 2, I have a favorite, but they're both kind of giving mixed signals, and I don't like that. The romance was there, but I don't know. My neighbor's alarm has been playing for the past 15 to 20 minutes. I'm about to go insane. This is insanity now. Who sleeps through this? Who sleeps through this? I'm gonna go. I've been having a lot of fun this summer, and yesterday I went to see Barbie. It was incredible. I loved Barbie so much. I look forward to enjoying more of summer in Lisbon. Hopefully I'll be able to explore more of Lisbon. I'm gonna go to my study room now and rot there for the rest of the day. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon.